So we are starting with our warm-up today. Our warm-up says the number line shows several points, each labeled with a letter. Number one, it says fill in each blank with a letter so that the inequality statement is true. Put your pencils down. So A is saying blank is greater than blank. B is saying blank is less than blank. 2 says Jada says that she found 3 different ways to complete the first question correctly. Do you think this is possible? Explain your reasoning. And then number 3, it says list a possible value for each letter on the number line based on its location. So all of these numbers except for 1 do not have a value, correct? Which one has a value? So D, which is representing 0. So all these numbers to the left are special and all the numbers to the right are special. Do not, when you're answering this first part, do not put a numerical value. Just write a letter. Like, it's not asking you to tell me what the value is. Does that make sense? It's just simply saying D is greater than D. All right, which obviously is not true, but do not put a numerical value there. I'm going to give you 3 minutes max. I mean, this should not take you very long. I might give you like an extra 30 seconds, but that is it. Go ahead, get started. If you finish before the time is up, please stand up.
We don't want 2 or 3, just 1.
All of them. All right. I know that we're not all finished, but for the most part, we're almost done. So we're going to go ahead and go over this. So for 1A, blank is greater than blank. Is there one specific answer? No, there's gonna be multiple answers, so if you don't have the exact one that I put in here, that does not necessarily mean it's wrong. It just means that there's more than one answer for this. So who would like to volunteer their answer for 1A? All right, Bailey.
I put F is greater than A.
So F is greater than A. So F is all the way over here, A is all the way over there. Do we agree?
Yes.
Okay? Would somebody else like to share what they wrote? Jeffrey.
E is greater than C.
E is greater than C. So E is here, C is there. Perfect. All right, one more. Bella. So F is greater than E. Perfect. All right, B says blank is less than blank. Brayden.
B is greater, B is less than
B as in boy
Yes.
is less than
E.
E. Okay, so B is here, E is over there. All right, what's another one? Isaac.
E is less than F.
E is less than F. Okay. Are you doing your math on your leg? Are you doing your math on your leg? Put your leg down. Pay attention. I'm sorry, Addison, what? E is less than F. D is less than F. Yep. Kaylee, what'd you write?
A is less than C.
A is less than C. Perfect. All right, so now number 2 says Jada says that she found 3 different ways to complete the first question correctly. Do you think this is possible? So stand up. Do you think this is possible? Even if you didn't get to answer this question, did we just prove that it was possible?
Yes.
Yes, because how many different people did I call on that gave me a different answer? A lot. So therefore, you should have yes because there's a variety of possibilities. All right, have a seat. All right, and then the last one, list a possible value for each letter on the number line. All right, again, are we gonna have the exact same numbers? Nope. All right, Brayden, what do you have
For just the A,
for all of them?
alright, I have for A, -9, for B, -3, for C, -2, and for D, 0, and 7. And I have for E, 5, F, 8.
Perfect. All right, anybody else want to share what they wrote? Garrett.
Just for C, I put -1, just because it looks like it's closer to 0, and it looks like there would be like 2 would be in the middle of B and C.
What?
It looks like 2 would be in the middle of B and C.
No, babe, what are you talking about? Tell me the value you wrote for these.
Oh, A.
Whoa, whoa, rocket science. Simmer down.
A -9, B -3, C -1, D 0, E for 4 or 5, and then F for 8 or 9.
Okay. All right, anybody else want to share what they wrote? Nevaeh.
A -7, B -2, C -1, D 0, E 3, and F 5.
Okay. So again, the idea is though A, B, and C should be a negative number. E and F should be a positive number, whether they're decimals, fractions, whatever you want to make them. That's your choice. All right, questions about your warm-up? Feel okay? All right, slide over to the amusement park rides. All right, so Priya finds 3 height requirements for some of the rides at an amusement park. So the table is telling you the name of the ride and the criteria or the requirements. So for the high bounce, you have to be between 55 and 72 inches tall. For the Climathon, you have to be under 60 inches tall, and for the Twirlo coaster, you have to be 55 inches minimum. what we're gonna do together is we are going to essentially write the inequality and we're gonna graph it, okay? Then for the remainder of, well, not the remainder of the class, but for a good chunk of the class time, you're gonna be working with your group members to answer the rest of the questions for this lesson. But I still wanna make sure that you have your inequalities written correctly and graphed correctly. So we're gonna skip the high bounce for right now. We're gonna do that one last. So let's go to the climathon. So the climathon, in our direction says write an inequality of the 3 height requirements. Use H for the unknown height. So I'm gonna write H here, and I'm gonna write H here, because that is going to be our variable. Now, for the climathon, it says under 60 inches tall. What does that mean? Because we kind of have to understand what the criteria is before we can go ahead and write our inequality. Isaac?
You have to be less than 60 inches tall.
So I cannot be 60 inches tall and go on the climathon. I can?
If you're 60 inches tall.
What does the criteria say?
Oh, it's under 60 inches.
So it's under 60 inches. So if I am 60 inches, I cannot go on this.
Yeah.
Okay, so, and the reason I'm like being kind of obnoxious about that is because that changes the symbol we use, right? Because if I can be 60 inches and go on it, that's gonna be a different symbol than if I cannot be. So essentially, are we using a less than or a greater than symbol? First of all, start with that. Leah?
Less than.
Less than. And then, as Isaac said, you cannot be 60 inches. You must be shorter than 60 inches. So H is gonna be less than 60. Does everybody understand why we cannot include 60 here? Okay, is there anybody who doesn't understand? We're good? Okay, I just want to make sure. All right, the Twirl-A-Coaster. The Twirl-A-Coaster, their requirements are 58 inches minimum. So what does that mean? What is 58 inches minimum? Ryan? Can I be less than 58 inches? But I can't be 58 inches. I can be 78 inches. I can be 925 inches. I'd be really tall, but so, and again, the reason I'm emphasizing this is because I need you to understand that the minimum is 58. So I can be that 58 inches and still be able to go on this ride. So, greater than or less than? What are we doing? Brayden?
I said
Nope.
greater than,
We're doing greater than.
but put a line under it because it could be equal.
Yes.
58 inches.
Yep. All right, so that's what those two inequalities look like. All right, so now we're gonna go back up to the high bounce. So the high bounce requirements is a little bit different. So it's between 55 inches and 72 inches tall. All right, so we're gonna write two inequalities. So the first one, between 55 inches. So does that mean that I can be less than 55 inches?
No.
Does that mean I can be 55 inches?
Yes.
Is there anybody who says no? Does anybody read that as between 55 and 72? Like you cannot be 55, but you have to be between those two numbers. Does anybody read it that way? Okay, so there's a few of us that might say, well, technically you can't be 55 inches. You actually have to be 56 to 71. So this is kind of one of those things where either way is correct. So it's really up to you guys how you want us to write this. So do you guys want us to use a equal sign under our inequality or no equal sign? Equal sign? So for this one, we're gonna do H is greater than or equal to 55. We agree with that? Okay, but those of you who said, nah, I think it's gotta be 56 and up, you're not wrong either. Okay, it's kind of one of those things where it's 100% in the way that you interpret it. And then H, or the other number is 72. Can you be above 72? Are we including 72?
Yes.
All right, so H is less than or equal to 72. So the Climathon and the Twirler Coaster, do you guys think you can graph those on your own? What bye. Anyways, so we're gonna graph the high bounce together though, because again, I want you to really understand and not get confused. So this has two numbers, so we can't just put one number up there and draw a line in a circle because we have two numbers now, right? So you're gonna have to put a 55 on there. And because our paper is shrunk down, it's gonna be super messy. We're actually skipping a line, so it's gonna be 55, 60, skip a line, 65, skip a line, 70, skip a line, 75. You can go up by ones, you can go up by tens, you can go up by twos. It's really up to you. I picked fives because it's just a little bit easier. Okay? Why did I start at 55 and end at 75? What do you guys think? Nevaeh?
Because you have to go between 55 and 72. You can't go above or below.
Right. You have to go between 55 and 72. So my first point is going to be at 55. Is it going to be an open circle or a closed circle?
Close.
Why? Raise your hand and tell me. Why is it closed? Noah?
Because you can't be 55.
You can't?
You can't be.
So you can't be 55.
Yes.
Can I use this inequality symbol technically to help me graph my arrow? I can. So technically I'm just going to go this way a little bit. I'm going to stop because I have another point I have to graph. What's my other point? What's my other point, Jeffrey?
I'm 72.
Okay, so 72 is going to fall like right there, give or take. Can I use this inequality to graph my arrow?
Yes.
Yes. So technically, this arrow goes this way, and this arrow goes that way. So your range is between 55 and 72. Does that make sense? Can you go under 55?
No.
Can you go above 72? No. So in order to ride this ride, you must be between 55 and 72 inches tall. That is what this graph is saying. All right, take a minute, graph the other two, stand up when you're done. Michaela, you sitting there doing nothing isn't helping. Do something, baby. All right, Caleb. For H is less than 60, what did you do? Okay. And then Sebastian, what did you do for H is greater than or equal to 58?
I did. So I drew my 0 in the middle, and then I put 50 like 2 lines over, and then my dot where 58 would be. And
Open or
I drew
closed?
one. Open.
Open?
Close.
Okay.
Line to the right.
Alright. So if your graphs do not look like that, make sure you get them changed. Alright, this is where you are going to be working with your table mates. So number 2, put your pencils down so I know you're listening. Because first period did not listen to one of these questions and did not get it right. So number 2 says Han's cousin is 55 inches tall. Han does not think she's tall enough to ride the high bounce, but Kieran believes that she is tall enough. Do you agree with Han or Kieran? Be prepared to explain. Flip your paper over. Number 3 says Priya can ride the Climathon, but she cannot ride the bounce house or the roller coaster. Which, if any, of the following could be Priya's height? Be prepared to explain your reasoning. Number 4, Jada is 56 inches tall. Which ride can she go on? Number 5, Kieran is 60 inches tall. Which rides can he go on? And then the last one, this is the one that first period missed. It says the inequalities H is less than 75 and H is greater than 64 represent the height restrictions in inches of another ride. Write 3 values that are solutions for both of the inequalities. So for that last one, you're essentially writing 6 answers. Or 6 numbers, however you want to put it. Okay? Questions on 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6? Alright, go ahead and get started.
I'm just gonna be on the table.
Who? Pick one. One that has 3 people. Or, I guess you got Caleb too. If you have questions, I will help you, okay? I'm gonna give you about 8 minutes to get this done. You should finish before that. Y'all should be working together. There should be conversation going on.
Yeah, no, it's a different person. Because if she can ride the climate line, then she's under 60. But if she can't ride the high balance and flow coaches, then she has to be under 55. And the only one under 55 is 50.
Oh, yeah, we are.
I don't understand questions.
Question 6. So what it's saying is essentially give me 3 numbers that make this true. Give me 3 numbers that make that true. So you know how like yesterday when we would graph and then I was like, give me a number that makes the statement true? That's all you're doing. So you would just write like,
Any number that's less than 75.
yeah, and then just write 3 numbers and then do the same thing. H is greater than 64 and write 3 numbers that go in.
Yeah, 66 would be great. If we're doing 6. So I don't have to write.
Guys have 2 minutes.
I put 60.
We have practice that today.
We have 5 practices for our next tournament.
April 2nd.
I've been practicing at Jeffrey's house and I'm going to the 8 West.
So we have to do this.
No. No, we just haven't done it yet. Yes, you can. Oh, wait. Do you have scissors I can borrow? Scissors? Do you have scissors I can borrow? Who collected flowers? You're not gonna die. We're just gonna cut you off. Drown it.
They're like
Miss Kenny, are we doing this last part?
that big.
I try to cross it out.
It spreads everywhere.
All right, let's go ahead and go over these, please. So number 2, stand up if you agree with Han. Stand up if you agreed with Han, because she is not tall enough. You go ahead. You can go ahead. Stand up if you agree with Huron. Why, Haley?
55 is 52, 55.
Huh? 55, 52, 55. What? Is that what you said?
Yeah, so 55 equals 55.
But what does that have to do with, like, why is he right? Like, why, like, what do you mean?
Because on the high balance, it says between 55 and 72 inches.
Perfect. So, yes, because the cousin is 55 inches and meets the requirement. All right, go ahead and have a seat, y'all. All right, flip it over. Look at number 3. Stand up if you picked 59 inches as your answer. Okay. Yes, sir. All right, have a seat. Stand up if you picked 53. And have a seat. Stand up if you picked 56 inches. Okay, so 59. Why did you guys pick 59?
Because it's 55. So she can ride the roller coaster, and it's
You can?
yes.
Because based off of the roller coaster information,
In 53.
have to be
Oh.
58 inches.
Yeah, I was doing wrong.
Not necessarily.
Yes.
All right, so technically the correct answer is 53. Why does 53 work and not 59 or 56 inches? Haley?
Because to be able to ride the Triathlon, you have to be under 60 inches. And that's the only one that they can ride. And they can't ride the roller coaster because they're under 58 inches. And then the high bounce, they're under 55.
Perfect. All right, good job. All right, number 4. Jada is 56 inches tall. What rides can she go on? Jeffrey?
The high bounce and the climbing on.
You said in the climathon?
Yes.
Okay. Kieran is 60 inches tall. Which rides can he go on? Caleb?
The high bounce and roller coaster.
All right, and then the last one, it says the inequalities, H is less than 75 and H is greater than 64, represents the height restrictions in inches of another ride. Write 3 values that are solutions for both. So H is less than 75. Give me 3 numbers that make this inequality true. Garrett?
73, 60,
62?
62.
60
63.
30. Okay. Give me 3 solutions that make H is greater than 64 true. Akira?
68, 69,
All right. So for the most part, how do we feel about inequalities, graphing, and writing them? It is Friday. I'm not going to yell at these children today because we're so immature that we can't handle just simple things in life. I understand. I know. I get it. I'm just gonna look away and act like I don't see anything. Your choice? Cool. Get it together, y'all. Like, absolutely ridiculous. Your cooldowns are on the tables. Glue your notes in. Do your cooldown. Turn it into the bin. Work on Imagine Math. I don't even care if you're done at this point. I was gonna let y'all go outside, but not now.